Hello, one everyone. Welcome to another episode of Daily Energy. I'm your host, Aurea Eden. Gubla one means good, blessed, and wonderful. You want to know what to expect over the next 1 or 3 days or so? I am here to tell you. Now, to start off this day, I want you to know that people are going to be worrying. People are going to be disoriented. People are going to be rebelling. There are going to be an increase in violence and an increase in transitions into the spirit, because there is mass conception again today and mass birth. And in order to be born, someone must go home. My uncle passed away this morning. And all I could say was, congratulations, Uncle Charles, because I know that he was struggling to be here. He was struggling. And he would tell me, he would say, Nika, well, I'm still here. So that means the good Lord ain't ready for me. But when he's ready for me, I tell you, I'll be willing to go. He said, I'll be ready to go. My Uncle Charles is my daddy's brother. My daddy passed away in 2020. It was only the two of them. It was only the two of them. And so his big brother passed away. And they've always been close. And so now I say, congratulations, Uncle Charles, because I know he gets to be with this brother. I know he gets to be with this brother. When the good Lord calls me home, I'm willing to go. I started this journey for him. I told him where he sends me, I'm willing to go. Now he's called me home, back to him. I go where the good Lord sends me. Now I'm going home, back to him. Please don't be sad for me. I'm being crowned a king. I'm going back home 'cause he called for me. Your loved ones are going back home where God is calling for them. Because now in this time, when your loved ones are being born, they are being born upgraded. When I tell you, when you see them next time, they are going to be better than they were before. They are going to be crowned kings and queens once again. Don't be sad for them. Don't be sad. If you're going to cry, cry tears of joy, knowing that they completed their assignments. They completed their assignments. So that's what we will see in the world over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Mass transitions into the spirit. And whenever there's mass transition in the spirit and mass conception, then that means in order for people to be born, someone must go on to the other side. Sometimes they stay back as spirit guides, and sometimes they come right back. And the ones that come right back are the chosen. They come right back as the chosen, because these are warriors of God. These are protectors of the world. And both my father and my uncle, I can assure you, were kings that you have heard of in your past life and in their past life. Okay, so this energy, this sad energy, is going to make people moody and insecure. But we are being called to cope with this sensitivity. We're being called to understand, because death is not something to get over, it's something to understand. Okay. What I'm seeing here is destiny. We're going to see destiny play out over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. We're going to see things happen that are going to be head scratching, like baffling, like how did this even happen? Like it's going to cause a sense of disbelief. And for some, it could even be overwhelming. But when I tell you that, yes, God is real. And God has his hands on a situation, even when the enemy thinks that the enemy's got a hand up on God. God is like, I'm doing a new thing. Even when you think you get it, even when you think you understand, even when you think you know what I'm going to do next, I always have something in my bag. And so over the next 1 to 3 days or 4, we're going to see God pulling rabbits out of his hat, so to speak. We're going to see God working miracles. We're going to see God, and we're talking about barren lands. We're talking about God working miracles in barren lands. I'm talking about in barren wombs. We're talking about God working miracles. Some of you who thought you would never conceive, some of you who thought you were barren, you're going to give birth one day in this lifetime. Your womb is opening up. And so you're going to see this conception take place. What was her name? Like Penina. Those who mocked her and said it would never happen for her. You're like Penina, and God is opening up your womb. Not even just that, even in the dry places, in the desert places, I see sprout. I see new rivers and water starting to flow. So much so that the water is going to rush and people are not understanding what's going on. But notice over the last few days, I kept talking about how I see roots taking place and I see trees. Well, I'm seeing trees in desert places. So we're seeing prophecy being fulfilled. And we're seeing earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing earthquakes in Texas. Now, I was in California. I'm born and raised Texan, but I had never experienced an earthquake until I went to California, and I lived in California for 15 years. And in California, I ran out the house talking about the earthquake because it was my first time experiencing an earthquake. But now just last week, I believe it was, we had an earthquake in Texas. And now you're hearing about tornadoes in California. But I want you to know that things are being mixed up. And this is what it means when it said the last shall be first and the first shall be last. God has a way of turning things around. And so you might think that things are not working in your favor. This is why you should never give up. And this is coming from somebody who has given up. This is coming from somebody who has tried to take themselves out. I tried to kill myself in 2010. Okay. So I know what I'm talking about when I say God has a way of turning things around. Because if it wasn't for God, you would not be hearing me now. You would not be seeing me now. I would not have a smile on my face. I would not understand anything. I believe that prayer can change some things. But I'm talking about when God puts his hands on you, his hands can heal some things. When God puts his word in you, his word can mend some things. Do you hear what I'm saying? And so he's doing a new thing, and people who think they know, they do not know yet as they ought to know. And you're going to see this play out. I'm seeing it's time out. It's time out. It's time out for the pettiness. It's time out for the bull. It's time out for all of that chaos. It's time out for all of that destruction. But if you continue on the path that you're going, we are going to have time for it. There is going to be time for it. Is it my habit to treat you this way? You remember when the donkey started to speak to Balaam? When Balaam started to beat the donkey and tried to get the donkey, and the donkey kept turning off the road because he saw the angel in the way. And the angel said, "Why are you beating your donkey? Why are you beating your ass?" Some of us, we beat our own ass, don't we? But he's like, "Why are you beating your ass? For surely if you would have continued this way, I would have destroyed you and that ass." It would have happened. So the ass ended up saving Balaam. Is it my habit to treat you this way? It's not God's habit to treat you this way. And you know what? I feel like if Balaam would have listened to that ass the first time and just turned around and went on back home, Balaam's life would have been a little bit longer than it was. See, Balaam ended up getting caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we're talking about Balaam, who said, "I will only go if God gives me permission to go. I do not go on my own accord. I cannot say what God doesn't give me to say." Even though he was being urged to do so, he couldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. But he stayed in a place longer than he was supposed to stay in that place. And when that place was raided, Balaam became victim to the very ones that he was protecting by not speaking against, his own family. See, if you knew and you search, you would find that the reason why Balaam didn't speak against the children of Israel, so to speak, is because Balaam was kin to the children of Israel. And listen to what he said. He said in so many words that a time will come that he will see someone again. Not now, but later. Now, I don't know that verbatim, but I know he said it. Do you not understand what he was telling you? He was talking about the time that we're living in right now. Balaam knew what many of you yet have understood, yet have come to realize that yes, God is real. And yes, God oftentimes walks amongst you. And God is here. All right. So God is here. And this is the time when Balaam spoke about seeing him again. He was talking about a time such as this. Now you can go and you can read that for yourself so you can get a further understanding of what I'm talking about. But we're talking about destiny. Now, even if Balaam would have tried to go home, he wouldn't have been able to, because it was his destiny to die in the time that he died so that he can be reborn in the time that he is reborn. You understand what I'm talking about? So every event that happened, it happened for a reason. Even me reading energy right now. Do you know how I'm able to predict things before they happen? It's because I realize that every single thing, it happens for a reason. And if I didn't understand that, I would not understand or even get a glimpse of what's happening next. You understand? So I'm seeing destiny. It is destiny. I'm also seeing a woman and weddings. So over the next 1 or 3 days or 4, we're going to hear more about weddings and events and honeymoons and newlyweds, that type of thing coming in, rings, people being engaged, people getting married. This is the energy that we're going to see news about over the next 1 or 3 days. I'm also seeing bids going in, gambling, banks, people owing money to banks. This type of energy is coming up, and even debt forgiveness to a certain extent. I'm seeing some kind of like clearing, forgiveness of some sort. This could be like bank forgiveness. This could be talk about like some kind of forgiveness. Okay. I was going to say school loan forgiveness, but I'm not really getting the school energy in this reading. So I can't just say that, but I am seeing some kind of like clearing, but banks, owing banks, something coming in about the banks over the next 1 to 3 days or 4 is going to be significantly highlighted, as well as news, okay, as well as television broadcasting. We're going to hear more about that. We know that, there's going to be tariffs on foreign movies and stuff. Talk about that, but I'm also seeing something about television shows here, and this could be something that we're going to hear coming up here over the next 1 to 3 days or so, more about television coming in. I'm also seeing more about beer. I don't know why I keep getting beer in this energy. Oh, I know why I'm getting beer, because there's going to be like prohibitionist talk. So I'm feeling like there's going to be talk about banning drinking or alcoholic beverages. There's going to be talk about like reworking that tariffs on alcohol, but alcoholic beverages and is coming up again. Ale, beer, alcohol, coffee, tea. These are all the things that tariffs are going to be affecting. Yes, but I'm also seeing prohibition and banning of like making, especially specifically alcohol. Is it in the US? Maybe. Is it in overseas? Maybe, but I'm seeing it happening somewhere. And these subjects are going to come up over the next 1 or 3 days or 4. Notice how beer has been lingering in the energy for days now. Okay. So this is something a brewing. Okay. 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 So also tonight, there's going to be a lot of drinking. Today, there's going to be a lot of drinking. There's going to be acts of violence, gun violence, stab violence, people fighting, bar fights, this type of thing. We're going to see this in the news over the next 1 to 3 days. Cricket energy is here. So we're going to see thefts. This type of energy, people are going to, I'm telling you, the devil's minions are going to be out and about seeking whom they may devour. And this is when I tell you, stay close to home, be at home at a decent hour. This is not a day to turn up in them streets, on them streets at all. There will be arrests. There will be transitions into the spirit. Policing, politics, leadership, conflict is all going to be intermingled. And this is one of those days to where I mean it. I mean it. Some days I just say it nonchalantly, but this is a devil's day in a sense. I mean it. It's almost like on those that movie Purge, when people go in their homes and they lock up. That's what you do, boo. That's what you do. Because this energy is showing me all kinds of stuff, even whirlwinds and floods. I'm getting all kinds of disastrous type energy coming in. Okay? So I'm seeing force, okay? Force, unwelcome events and force, things happening with a great force, especially around the border. I'm seeing a lot of border activity. And guess what? Remember when I told you the chase becomes the chaser? I see something brewing. I see rebels fighting back. I see rebel groups forming. I really do. And so this is what happens when you oppress a people for so long. They begin to act out and fight back. And whereas you might have somewhat of a conscience, when they go left, they don't have no conscience. We're talking about people who are going to be taking out people because they have had enough. This is the type of energy that is a brewing. Aren't y'all tired of war? You're not, huh? But you should be. You should be. All of this that's happening, it is caused by man. And then you have the audacity to blame Father for it. He's not causing you to do this. He's not telling you to do this. You're doing this. And because you're doing this, that's going to happen. You think these movies that are telling you that aliens are coming is just a coincidence? You think these shows that are showing like these big explosions are bluffing? What did I tell you would happen? I told you, if you read my writing, I told you that if you do not get it together in so many words, you will fall under the control of a mental master, a master manipulator, a narcissist. And if you have ever been in the control or the vicinity of a narcissist, you know that's not a good place to be. And so rebel groups are forming. And they are going to begin to fight back. And that's what I'm seeing starting up, revving up. You're going to see evidence of this over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. It could start a brewing at the border because I see a lot of border activity. Strong military presence at the border. And it's going to be needed. I'm seeing people thieving. Okay, thieving, stealing. So this is a taste where you want to lock your car up. If you go get gas, lock your car. Look, don't be trying to fight over stuff, trying to save stuff, 11:11 on my clock. If they try to take it, baby, your life was worth more than stuff. You can get the stuff back because you still have you. But what you can't get back right now in this day and time, in right away, is your life. Okay, for some of you, you're going to come right back. With some of you, you might not. Okay, so let that stuff go. Okay, but I'm seeing imminent threat. Imminent threat. We're talking about, China, Iran, Iraq, Bangladesh, India. Oh, man, it's just revving up, ain't it? That's what I'm seeing here. It's so serious, and I don't think y'all know just how serious it is. Notice, everything that I have said will come to pass. Okay, let's not say everything. 98% of everything that I had said will come to pass, has come to pass. The other 2% did not come to pass in the way that I said it would come to pass because of my own interpretations, but it hit in the same vicinity. Do you hear what I'm saying? So it's that serious. It's that serious. You're bringing about the end as we know it. And some of you don't even know it, but that's what's happening. I saw a cloud of ash, and it started consuming people. There was screaming and gnashing of teeth. And as the cloud approached people, it was consuming them. This is what they're bringing about. And this is what you're signing on to. But I believe when it said, if my people whom are called by my name shall humble themselves and seek my face, then I will go to my Father in heaven. And basically, I will petition for them. And he said, if these people, my people, will do this, if you will come together and you will unite, your land will be healed. If you seek first the kingdom of God, your land can be healed. But your land is not healed. Our land is not healed because we allow the enemy to run amok, and we laugh and we grin and we find it entertaining. But it's not entertaining when you have to live with the consequences of not seeing what's there when it's right before your eyes. So I'm seeing an unwelcomed event happening over the next 1 to 3 days that we're going to see in the news. That's an imminent threat, imminent threat. Think about it. Okay. And this is on a worldwide scale. I'm seeing something that is an unnatural phenomenon happen. And that's why I said I see waters in desert places, sprout in desert places. I'm seeing rivers amassing and flooding, and I'm seeing whirlwinds. Talks about the supernatural, unreal and mysterious acts, strange, abnormal, unusual. And words like fate and destiny. I'm also seeing here, like on the scale of what this is, it will be large and expanded. It will be exhaustive. And a part of me felt like it was one of the biggest tornadoes that we have seen in a long time. Oversized. That's the energy that's coming in. Oversized. Catastrophic event. Bigger than we have seen in a long time. So much so that world records will be broken. Historical records will be broken. Disbelief. And anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. Okay. I'm also seeing something coming up about the Catholic Church as well. I'm also seeing here that there's going to be targets. So I'm feeling like this got to do with missiles flying, target missiles, targets, gun violence, missile violence, that type of thing. And it's going to be extensive. I feel like it only gets worse, and it only gets worse. I've already seen it. So it really does only gets worse. I've already seen what's going to happen. I pray that y'all get it together, but I already know. People are too fickle, too selfish, too greedy, too egotistical. How can you not get it? Too disbelieving, even when it's right in front of their eyes. So that's why, sometimes we cry out when this stuff happens and we say, why? Why this? Why this? Why, God? Because of the choices that were made. Okay, this energy was so thick that I just stopped reading it at some point. I also see wires on the ground, wires, something having to come up with electricity and wires. This has a lot to do with executions, electrical shocks, but I am seeing a lot of wire activity. Also spy activity, because if you think about wire, you can think that, you think about people spying on people, phone taps, wires, that type of thing coming in here as well. So watch out if you see somebody that's acting abnormal. If they're too fidgety, they're trembling, they're shaking. I am getting trembling and shaking. That could be just an earthquake, which it is an earthquake coming up again. But pay attention to that when people seem like they're nervous. Baby, if they exit the room and they look like that, you exit the room with them. Exit the building, friend. Exit the building. Okay? Be paying attention. I told you when I first walk into a building, I always check where the exits are. And when I go to a restaurant and I eat, I'm always facing the door. I want to see what's coming towards me. Okay? You have to be observant and read body language. Okay? I see here, download coming in right now. I see here where they're saying stay somewhere. Stay somewhere. This is me saying stay home. Stay. And I am getting something about a wall. And they're saying stay in a dry place behind something sturdy. Okay? Is what they're showing me here. I'm also seeing something coming up about wings. So with this supernatural activity coming in, people are going to report seeing angels. Okay, they're going to report seeing angels, or maybe some kind of ancient bird. They might report seeing the phoenix rising from the ashes, because I tell you, the phoenix is rising from the ashes. You might not see it rising, but it's rising. They might report seeing the dragon, because the invisible dragon is flying over your head right now. And that's why they were afraid of the one prophesied to come. I see a young woman, a girlfriend, a lady here. Okay, a lady here. So we're going to see a lot coming in about female energy here. And I do have some names. So I'm getting Deb. We'll hear something about Deb in the news. Bree in the news. This could be Brianna in the news. It could be Cedric in the news. Drew. We'll hear about Drew in the news. This could be about Drew Barrymore, Drew Sidora. But I'm hearing Drew. Drew is coming up in the news over the next 1 to 3 days. Or 4, Ruby. Ruby's coming up in the news over the next 1 to 3 days. Or 4, Sally. We'll hear something about a Sally in the news over the next 1 to 3 days. Or 4, or also Cherry. These are people who are on my hot list, names that are on my hot list. So we'll see stuff coming in about that. Very wise and intelligent people coming in as well. Listen to your ancestors. Listen to the wisdom that has been put in front of you to let you know what's coming. Think about the oracle in the Matrix and what she was sent here to do. She's here to protect the people. So know who your enemies are, and put your energy towards that, and not the ones that are here to help you. Listen to your elders. We're going to have a lot of leadership activity coming up, sages, energy coming in. And so learn from those who have gone before. So I see things moving. Okay. I told you about burials and graves. We'll hear stuff about burials and graves as well. Here, dancers coming up because this is entertainment energy. So it's going to be a lot of entertainment news going on as well. We just had the Met Gala, or however you say it. We just had that here. So we'll hear a lot more about that coming in. Things kicking off here. I'm seeing something about the rib, but if you know about the rib, then you know that, they say the woman has an extra rib or something like that, because the rib was taken from the man or something like that. So, but I am seeing something about ribs coming up. We were hearing something about ribs, so we might hear something in the news about ribs over the next 1 to 3 days. Or 4, botany, healthy medicine, Chinese medicine, this type of thing, which might also be affected by the tariffs, because a lot of our teas and concoctions of that nature come from overseas. And so you'll be hearing about that. Animal activity, a lot of animal activity, a lot of animal breeding. We'll hear something about animal breeding. Horses that end up giving birth, are, animals giving birth, animal electrocution, animals, captures. You're going to be hearing more about that. Rain coming, flooding, politics, politicians, that type of thing you can expect over the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Places. Now, notice how I said dry places getting filled, okay? Rivers showing up, okay? But you're also going to see very lush places that are going to be going dry. Okay, that's the energy that I'm seeing. Now, I don't know if you're going to see this happen in the next 1 to 3 days or so, but I am seeing that you're going to see it happening. And so what's happening is that it'll start. It's probably starting today. You might not see the evidence, but you might hear reports about this coming up. So even the potential for dust storms, excuse me, even the potential for dust storms coming in. Okay. Comedians joking, humor over the next 1 to 3 days. Of 4, sharp beat, if you work with sharp objects, that type of thing. I told you about I'm seeing sharp objects, something sharp. So like I said, I told you the devil's minions. That's what I'm seeing. Now y'all see why I just gave up on this energy, and I was like, okay, I'm done reading. I mean, I got pages of this, and I'm just going to try to go through it as fast as I can. I'm seeing a lot of control, okay? A lot of blow bombs, missiles flying, that type of thing. I'm seeing torment, torment, annoy, pester, tease, badger, hound, persecute, bother, annoy, worry, disturb, trouble, agitate, provoke, vex. They gonna be on one. I'm telling you what I know. It's not you, it's them. Telling you what I know. Matter of fact, I should sign off. I should just sign off today and just not talk to nobody. I'm just gonna sign off because that's the energy. I'm seeing here, it's like a roller coaster ride of emotions. And speaking of roller coaster, we're going to hear something coming in about a theme park of some sort here over the next 1 or 3 days or 4. I'm also seeing people switching up, changing sides, people siding with people. Here, it's like, that movie, The Last of Us. That show, The Last of Us, kind of like that show. You see how there was all kinds of groups just all divided up? There was a real threat going on. There's a real threat going on. You got these basically They're not zombies, but they're zombie-like people running around here. They don't have their own minds. They don't have control over their own minds, but they're running around here. And all the while, instead of these group of people coming together, they want to be at war with each other and fight each other. Does that make sense to you? This is a time when we should come together, stronger together. Okay? Weaker alone. Weaker alone. All right? We'll hear more about bugs and spiders here coming in. I tell you, there's going to be more traps for those immigrants. I see traps here. Networking coming up, more network talk, conglomerate moves here. So rain, drops of liquid. Yeah, so something coming up about, bed and furniture. Oh, I know what that is. So you want to get some sleep tonight. You want to, if you want to get some sleep, you want to use as much as the energy as you can, but use that energy organizing, cleaning, taking care of your home front, taking care of your yard, taking care of your car. It's raining here, so I ain't gonna be doing too much of that, but when it stops, you can do some gardening or something, So there's certain things that you can do to keep busy without being destructive. Do you, boo, as long as you don't hurt nobody. That's it. It's okay to do whatever it is you do, just as long as you don't hurt nobody. You hurt somebody, then it's a problem. I am also seeing something coming up about Tinder, dating sites, that type of thing. We'll hear something in the news over the next 1 to 3 days about dating sites. Women, be careful, especially if I called your name out here today. I'm seeing new proposals coming in, not just as will you marry me, but new proposal and submissions for bills and such like that. Could be having to do with alcohol, because I saw that already. People farewell and saying bye, to their loved ones and each other. So, there's going to be breakups today as well. So reproduction, procreation, I told you about that. I see a young woman making the headlines here. Give me a debutante type energy. So I get more talk about that coming in, here, that young lady has been roomy. And then, we have blue. And then, it could even be, Kanye West's daughter, but I am seeing, like the youth trending. Okay. Even more so. Some more talk coming in. But look, if you're going to talk about them, you better say something good. You better say something good. Because I don't know why y'all be out here playing with people's kids like that. Like, that don't just make no sense. And then you wonder why you end up saying stuff like, oh, I think I'm cursed. I wonder why you think you cursed. Because you be putting your mouth on the wrong people, places, and things. See, your one way now is not forever. And you might think that you're above them, but you're only one experience away from the reality of their life being the reality of your life. So if I was you, I'd get that jealousy in check. If I was you, I would get that jealousy in check. But y'all know I start stuttering when I get mad. But leave people babies alone. Okay? I see here coming in something about cheese. Here we're going to hear something about cheese over the next 1 to 3 days or so. The Cardinals, might hear something about the Cardinals. This could be a baseball team or something coming in over the next 1 to 3 days. Or for the Jewish community, something coming in about the Jewish community, Jewish rituals, circumcision. We may see something coming in about that, rabbis, that type of thing. maybe jokes, maybe anti-Semitic, well, however they say it, talk here. Something about, like I told you, Asia is coming in, things being lost and things being perished, not going to get back. We're going to see first time events ever happening over the next 1 to 3 days or so. I see burns, aches, and itches. People and their sexual urges. Metal devices, new AI equipment, new AI things happening, more about more about base. And I'm saying base as in, this could be Elon Musk's Starbase, but I'm seeing more about this. I'm seeing extremely urgent, terribly dreadful, awful, horrible, grim, unspeakable actions, alarmingly so, crying, okay, of a serious nature. All right. So that's what I'm seeing here. Mark your calendars. Okay. I don't know if this is significant, but mark your calendars. May 15th, July 15th, and October 15th. May, June, July. So somewhere around these next 15ths, mark your calendar. May 15th, July 15th, October 15th. I don't know what's significant, but start with May 15th, okay? Because everything happens for a reason. Carmen, okay? Carmen, wine, blood. I'm seeing Carmen, wine, blood, lot of blood, okay? Ruby, something coming in about Ruby. Scarlet could be the Scarlet Witch, but I'm seeing Scarlet Letter, but war, just similar to communist talk, socialist talk, Cold War, Soviet Union talk, this type of energy to remind you of back in the day, okay? Purge, like, see, I mentioned purge earlier, but I'm seeing purge, purify, empty, things being cleared, delivery, stuff like that. I'm seeing. So I want to get out of this energy, y'all, because it's exhausting. I told you I already got a lot going on myself now, but like I said, I see borders, I see perimeters, I see bank stuff going on, I see clans, I see people boasting and being hypocrites. I see people putting their nose down on people who they think are less fortunate, but the last shall be first and the first shall be last. You better know about it. I see rockets here and in upward movement. Okay. Now, mind you, I said I see spirits. And if you know, like I know, you know, I'm also seeing talk coming in about the Muslim countries, as we talked about before, and riots, okay? Taking up arms, okay, is what I see. My friend, I love you. Guble one, hearts go out. You get a heart, you get a heart, you get a heart. Hearts go out. Bye.